Hi, I'm Glenn Everett, master of machines. This episode, we talk to a man who's been passionate about Australian Chryslers for over 40 years. And in recent times, he's expanded his collection to different makes and models. So how about we check out this amazing collection? And don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, because your valued support helps us keep this show on the road. Yeah. Ray Ikin, a huge Aussie Charger fan and lover of anything on wheels. And his choice of music? A symphony of Weber carburettors hanging off the side of a six-cylinder Hemi. Fantastic to be here, Ray. You've been into cars for a long time. Tell us where that began.
Oh, I think it started when I was a kid. Me dad had the Roots Group agent here in Trelban. He used to sell Hummers and Hummers. I was involved with it right from a very early age. And then after I'd had about 13 Holdens, a Charger was released and I just loved the look of it. My wife didn't want a bar of it, but one day she threw her arms in the air and said, "Ray, if you want a Charger, you work out how to pay for it, because I need all your money." So I started driving taxis 3 nights a week. Had a job during the day, 3 nights a week, and then I started restoring cars, so I was sort of doing 3 things at once. But one time we sold a car to a friend, and he sold it about 12 months later, and my wife said, "Do you see how much, did he tell you how much he got for that car?" And I said, "No." She said, "He got a whole lot more than you sold it to him for." She said, "Why don't you keep them?" She said, "We got acre down the backyard, build a shed down there and we'll keep some of them." So that's how it started. It was her idea. I just built a big shed down the backyard and we had 7 or 8 in it, and then went from one thing to another.
Ray, CL Charger, what an absolute plum.
V8 4-speed, only made 160 of them.
Wow, V8 4-speed, that'd be a pretty potent machine.
Yeah, it's just a stock 318, it's nothing flash, but I mean, geez, nice, smooth, comfortable car to drive. It's never had damage on it, it's never had anything done to it, that's all original. I did paint the front panel once to get rid of the stone chips, but all the seats, stock, as it come from the factory.
So effectively, this body style stems right back to the VH Charger, the very first Charger.
That's right, yep. 71 to 78. The body style went. And this car actually wasn't first registered until March 79. It was 9 months old before it got registered.
Really?
Sat in the winger at a Chrysler dealer in the showroom for 9 months. And I think two-door cars had lost their gloss by then, you know, and it wasn't a cheap car. Factory stock, trim, everything, carpets, everything is still original. Well, there's 160 or 161 or something like that. With V8 with a 4-speed in them. Yeah, there's a few made after it, but it's one of the last Chargers. I paid nearly new price for it. At the time it was 2-year-old, just 2-year-old, April 81. Same time I give up smoking. I was a very heavy smoker, and I'd tried 2 or 3 times before in that car with the cloth interior. I didn't want to smoke in it, and it was just enough, I think, to stop me smoking, you know. And I was really keen to give them up.
You've got that car to thank for your increased health.
I probably wouldn't have been here. It would have killed me by now.
I have a feeling we might be looking at a car here that's got a bit of history, Ray, am I correct?
Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, this car is unbelievable. This is the only Charger from the 1971 Bathurst that is actually still on the road. The other real car was Leo Gagin's car, and that's in the museum at Birdwood in South Australia.
Incredible, what a find.
Yeah, it was a find. It just looked like a street car. It had been a street car for most of its life after it raced. And I've got the Omni 8-toner. I've got everybody's name. I've spoken to most of them. And yeah, when I got it, it had a black bonnet, but it wasn't supposed to have a black bonnet, so I got rid of it, and it had black seats, black interior in it, and the interior was supposed to be tan. I got plenty of photographs of it, and it's exactly as it was at Bathurst in 1971. This is how it looked sitting on the start line. There's a guy up near Newcastle that keeps a register of Chargers, or a 6-pack Charger, and I rang him up and I said, "I just thought I'd let you know, Andrew, that I've got this Charger, and it's body number 209, and still got the original plates on it, KZA 208. And he said, "Oh, that's on the Bathurst poster." I said, "It's not really." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Where's your Bathurst poster?" I said, "Rolled up in the cupboard." He said, "Well, get it out and have a look." So I'll get the poster out quick, and here it is, you can read the number plate as plain as day. Graham Ritter and Brian Reid. So actually I tracked Graham Ritter down, spoke to him on the phone about it, and then he told me that Brian Reid was at Bendigo, and I rang Bendigo. A woman answered the phone and I said, I'm looking for a Brian Reid that drove a Charger at Bathurst in 1971. Anyway, Brian comes on the phone and he said, here's a blast from the past. Anyway, Brian and I have ended up really good friends. It's just an amazing story as far as I'm concerned. Just luck would have it, nobody had ever pulled the plates off the thing.
They really were a bit of an underdog, weren't they, the Chargers?
Yeah, well, people keep saying to me, oh, they didn't do any good at Bathurst. But it's amazing what they did do at Bathurst. Alan Moffat was the only car that year that done 130 laps. The next were 129. There was quite a few cars, 5 or 6 cars on 129, including Leo Ikin and the Charger. 3-speed car, no brakes.
So he was effectively the development driver for Chrysler.
That's right. Leo Ikin stayed with me for one weekend, and he said all they did all day long was just went as hard as they could go around Mallala racetrack, and they were trying to find what was going to break.
And they used a ute too, didn't they?
Two utes. They had 2 utes at one stage.
Was the ute to replicate the short wheelbase on the Charger?
They shortened the wheelbase on the ute and set it up exactly as what the Charger was going to be. So people seeing these utes running around Mallala racetrack had no idea what was about to be launched on them.
VG Pacer, this is where it all started for the Hemi Six, didn't it?
It did. Bathurst 70, done pretty well. Flat tyre cost them 2nd place, Doug Chivers. But no, they done very well against the might of the Falcons in 70.
Well, you've got to remember too that it was the XWGT-HO, and really the spec on that car wasn't a great deal different to the Phase 3. Engine-wise, I think they actually had a slightly bigger camshaft, so they were a real mongrel thing. And for these 245 inline sixes to keep up with any of those cars over a race distance, it was a pretty good effort.
My word, they done very well.
And tell us about this car. Where'd you pick it up from?
Actually, it was advertised, as it turns out, a guy that I know really well had it advertised on eBay or CarPoint or whatever it was. I don't know where it was, but anyway, I paid him for it and sent it down the truck. I didn't go and pick this one up. I usually go pick them up. Come down the truck. Now, Pacers have to have black bonnets. Chargers not necessarily. This is all in the mind, of course. But Pacer doesn't look like a Pacer unless you've got a black bonnet. So I put the black bonnet on it, but it wasn't a black bonnet car. And just touched it up a little bit. I didn't do a lot to it.
So that's a pretty honest example.
Oh yeah, original, very, very original. You see, if you look under the bonnet, it's all original. All I done was touch up the paint a little bit around the battery where they go, paint goes funny around the battery. But no, it's a stock original car. It's one of 4, actually. They only made 4 in this colour with red interior.
Jeez. 2-barrel?
2-barrel, yep.
And the 2-barrel engine, were they modified in any way?
No.
So it was just the 4-barrel engine that had the...
4-barrel was bought out to 250, they called it.
And a 3-speed manual transmission?
Still 3-speed, still everything stock original. Yeah.
And of course, then we've got the 2-door Pacer variant. Great looking body style, these things, weren't they?
Yeah, they're very popular body style, and they still are very popular body style. This car come from Shannon's, actually, and I couldn't leave it there. I had to bring it home. I love it. My wife loved it too, so there you go.
Well, that's always handy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's as I bought it. It's very little. I did retrim the seats, but as I got it.
And I believe that this body style is very similar to the Dodge Dart in the US.
The body style from the windscreen back is a Dodge Dart. It's exactly the same.
To have the 4-door and the 2-door variant, you'd have to be a pretty happy man.
Yeah, I work at it.
Stay tuned for more of Ray's collection coming up in future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd like and comment on this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notifications bell because there's a lot more content coming your way.